The view of the Capitol building looks very different to DC residents and tourists, now that it has been shielded by a 7-foot tall metal fence spanning 750 by 350 square feet. The barrier is a result of the January 6th insurrection riots, where right-wing extremists protesting the 2020 election results breached the Capitol building and were met with minimal police presence and only small barriers to stop the floods of rioters. 5 people, including one Capitol police officer, ended up dying after the riot, and millions more were left fearful of more political violence in the city. Shortly after the riots, large fences were erected with barbed wire around the Capitol, and the entire mall and almost all of the downtown DC area was blocked off in preparation for Joe Biden's inauguration. The National Guard was brought in, and the military presence in downtown DC massively increased. Today, the barrier has been removed of its barbed wire, and now only surrounds the Capitol grounds, but Army and police presence still remain due to the fear of another attack. The leftover fencing serves as a reminder of the January violence to DC residents, who see it as both a literal and figurative barrier to the ideals of American democracy.
I'm appalled by it. Yeah, I've lived on the Hill for 30 years.
It's a lot of hyper-partisanship, and I think it's really sad that the People's House has to be fenced off, but unfortunately that's where we're at.
And another recent incident at the Capitol barrier has shook DC residents yet again. On April 2nd, a car rammed into the barricade off of Constitution Avenue, killing one Capitol police officer and the driver, who was eventually shot by police. The deadly incident has reawakened the fear set in by January's insurrection and has kept the barriers upright and the police force on edge. But the fencing cannot be kept forever, with congressional lawmakers and city activists trying to push against the Capitol Police's proposal to make the barrier permanent.
I think at this moment it's probably not necessary, but it would be necessary in the future.
I don't think, things calm down some. I don't think it's going to be there forever.
Lawmakers have even tried to push a bipartisan no fencing bill, saying that the Capitol Police must find other ways to protect the building. The barrier, they argue, keeps DC residents from enjoying the grounds.
It's a shame we can't visit Congress. And it's a shame we can't even approach to take pictures.
We used to, I keep forgetting when I walk down here that I can't walk on the grounds or see the trees, and so I hope it doesn't last.
Many also believe the barriers send a negative message to the world, showing that the United States cannot take care of its own capital and illustrating that the U.S. government is afraid of its own people. But to many DC residents, things are looking better now that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have taken the White House. With Trump gone, maybe the barriers can finally come down and residents will be able to walk on their own capital.
And I feel like they'll care about the city more, because the Trumps never cared about the city or the people who lived here.
For DC residents, the Capitol is much more than just a building. It's a sanctuary of their rights and ideals.
I think it's a privilege for citizens to see,